Hello everyone, this is Ayush Singh and welcome to your favorite channel SINGH PEDIA. Today we are going to learn the whole chapter 1 of class 7th history, that is tracing changes through 1,000 years. So in the medieval times people didn't know much about maps, but they still tried to make one. In this chapter we will learn about two maps. First map is made by Al-Idrisi in 1154 CE, and the second one was made by a French cartographer named Jean-Baptiste Bourguignon d'Anville in 1725 to 1726 CE. The first map was made when people struggled in finding directions, while the second map was made when Europeans were ruling in India and used to find direction in their long trips known as voyages. These changes make difficulties for historians to read historical maps, texts, or documents. Now, as the time passed, the word's meaning also changed. For example, one such word is Hindustan. Nowadays, Hindustan means India. But in 13th century, Minhaj is Siraj, also known as Minhaj as Siraj, used it for telling the area between the Ganga and Yamuna and the land of Punjab and Haryana, basically the Delhi Sultanate. In 16th century, Babur used the term Hindustan for the geography, the fauna and the culture of the subcontinent. And in the 14th century, there was a chronicler named Amir Khusro. He used the word Hind in the same sense as Babur did. Another example of such word is foreigner. Nowadays, foreigner means someone who is out of a country. But in the medieval India, foreigner meant something else. That was a person who you don't know and is from another village, even if you guys live 10 kilometers apart from each other. Now, for all these information, historians need sources. So, historians still relied on sources such as architecture, coins, and textual records. In these times, textual records increased dramatically because of the increase and widely availability of papers. One such example is manuscript, and these manuscripts were stored in libraries and archives. As there was no printing press, scribes, also known as kayasthas, used to copy the manuscript and write it. But sometimes while copying, they made a mistake. This led to making of various volumes of a same book or a document. There was a chronicler named Ziauddin Barani. He wrote two chronicles. First was in 1356 and second was in 1358. But the historians first found the second volume and then found the first volume. This is because when we excavate, we directly don't get things in order. We get it anywhere, right? That's why. Now, this era also saw various developments. These developments include the Persian wheel, the spinning wheel, and firearms used in combats. The other beverages and foods that were discovered here were peas, potatoes, corn, coffee, tea, and chili. This period also saw a great mobility of people. There were some people who claimed themselves Kshatriyas and gave them the title of Rajputs. Other tribes whose increase was there were Sikhs, Jats, Ahoms, and Kayasthas. But at that time, the power of a people, the influence, the land and economy of a people decided that what one he would be of. India has a vast amount in the diversity of languages and culture. Some empires were there which made pan regional empires. Pan regional means an empire which surrounds a vast area. The kings also did conflicts, wars, and treaties, as well as matrimonial alliances to expand their empire. One such example was of Mughals who break down to form various regional empires such as Sikhs, Jats, Awadh, Bengal, Marathas, and Hyderabad. In this period, Hinduism also changed. For example, new deities came in existence. Brahmanas became very prominent. Also, the Bhakti movement started. The Islamic rulers invaded India in 712 AD, that is, the early 7th century. Then the Islam was divided into two parts, Shia and Sunnis. Shia were the followers of Alis and Sunnis were the followers of Khalifas. As per now, historians have divided the history into three parts: prehistory, proto-history, and history. But the Britishers did an unfair division that was of Hindu, Islam, and British history. That's why we know that now the most fair one is prehistory, proto-history, and history. So, this was today's chapter, which was tracing changes through 1,000 years. I hope you have understood this whole chapter. If you have any doubt related to this topic, please let me know in the comments. Thank you very much.